keep make a decision. Make a decision on one of these guys and go with it. But you can't be putting in new plays and jazzing it up and zip jam. And I seen some on Sunday that and coach, guys, I'm telling you too, some of the best plays are stolen plays. So it ain't bad looking at a game on Saturday and pick that play up. But it has to be able to fit in your system. And if it don't sit in your system, then now you're going back to point B. So I don't want to take up a lot of time, but some of it is the coordinator, some of it is the quarterback. I just don't believe that it's always the offensive line.
I want to say this, Coach, and this is just to Jackson State faithful. And this is, like I said, I'm not a coach. I just don't watch a ton of football. If you guys would just run the football and let Ed Mulligan and let Ahmad Miller and Terrell determine who's going to win the game, you guys will be all right. It's not your quarterback. That's the problem. It's not your quarterback. You look at the stats, and the stats look basically identical from both quarterbacks. You threw the ball for a couple hundred yards. You don't have a problem passing the ball with either quarterback. The problem is you ran the ball for 159 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry, but you only ran it, 29 times? You should have ran it 60. And that'll kept those interceptions off the field. That'll kept those offensive holdings out the game. That would have kept all just run. What did that lady say on the blind side? Just run the damn ball. Again, just run the ball, TC. You can use all those plays, especially in a game against Grambling where you didn't need to run the ball. Here's another point I want to make. There's nothing even wrong with your defense, Grambling. Jackson State. There's nothing wrong with your defense. People are going to get plays on you. Your defense is fine. They ran the ball 39 times for 89 yards. There's nothing wrong with your defense.
Coach, looking at these stats, Crowley, who's tagged as the best quarterback in the conference, only threw for 189 yards. I don't even think he got 600 yards in 4 games, does he, Coach?
Oh, yeah, he got 300 something on that one game, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And who they play? Okay.
No,
I think they played
Tuskegee.
Yeah,
Tuskegee. And then they rushed for 104 yards. They did not win the offensive battle that day. Grambling did.
They won the turnover battle.
They won the turnover battle. They won the defensive battle. And I'm saying that this, coordinators, if y'all listening to me, listen to old Coach Cole. Man, you got to run and do stuff to make you win. Manage the game. Know what's going on. If I'm running the ball, I'm running the hell out of the ball, and there's a play that they just can't stop, Rocky, I'm going to run that play, and you're going to see that play out of 7, 8, 9, 13 different formations, Coach Campbell. And we're going to keep getting to that play, and we're going to keep running until they stop.
I want to ask Coach Campbell this question. Why do you think they came out with a dominant passing attack with that quarterback? Because it didn't make any sense to me, but maybe you understand.
Well, this is the thing, and I asked Coach Cole, we talked about this. There is something that is happening in practice that McCoy does that I think excites TC Taylor. I think there are things that he might make plays in practice that Jacobian can't make, that he says, you know what, this gives us an explosive potential. Again, talked about Coach Taylor, big versus little. He does a lot of big plays. But I'm going to give Coach Taylor the blueprint for this team. FAMU 2021, where you had Rashawn McKay, Xavier Smith, and Bishop Bonnet. Now, we're talking about Willie Simmons now. And no disrespect to TC, but he's not the offensive guru that Willie Simmons is. And Coach Simmons realized that I have a limited quarterback, but I got two playmakers, Bishop Bonnet and Xavier Smith. And you know what we did the whole year? We threw every pass literally to Xavier Smith, or we ran the ball with Bishop Bonnet. And we lost to Jackson State 7-6. That's the only game that we lost in the regular season.
Been talking to some people about these two kids. One is a running quarterback and one is a passing quarterback. And Grambling was really, really scared of the passing quarterback. They said the kid can throw the ball really well. This is one of the things, guys, and this is nothing towards TC, and I'm saying this in general as being a head coach and an offensive coordinator. And that's why I don't like quarterbacks that just run the football. But I do like athletic quarterbacks that can extend plays. And sometimes you would get back and you will see a kid step back the pass and then he scramble all around the damn field for 50 yards both ways and then score. And everybody jumping. Oh man, that dude is awesome. But then as a coordinator, you go back and you're supposed to go back and watch the film, and then you see, oh, he missed his primary receiver. He missed his secondary receiver. He didn't scoot up in the pocket. Yeah, he athletic to everybody, but you're playing a team, the sister of the blind. So when you let him go and you don't coach him up, and then he comes to play a Grambling, that ain't happening. My coach, when I was played quarterback, if I dropped back on third down alone and I took off running right away, he would get mad as hell at me. He would say, "What do you think they want you to do?" You know what I mean? They want you to take off and run so they can tackle you, and then now it's fourth down. Go through your progressions and you go through and see where the long route, because we would call a third and long passing route. And you had two options. And your third option was to get down. If you ran, but you didn't come back and take off and start running. You sitting there, you're sitting there. And you either threw the ball away or you went and got 4 or 5, and then you understood. So I say all that to say, man, you got to coach them up, Coach Campbell. You got to coach these kids up. You can coach every play. Even when the kid do good, make a hell of a catch, make a hell of a run. There's some coaching that needs to be going on to that kid. Go ahead, Coach.
I understand when people say Jacoby and Morgan makes the routine throws look easy. Yeah, I think 10 yards in, he makes those throws look easy, right? But what I see with my eyes is this. When he throws it a little further down the field, 20 yards, 30 yards over the top, he misses bad. And I mean he misses really bad. So even though he has the better arm, he's a better short to intermediate passer, right? But my point is, if you just gonna pass it 5 yards, won't you just turn around and give it to Miller or Mulligan? That's
but Rocky, but that's not the problem. The problem has been the games that they have not started him where he could just consistently play. And this goes back to my point about the FAMU, Rashawn McKay. Everybody remembers game manager. That used to be my thing. Every weekend I would talk to Scotty. Game manager of the year, because Rashawn McKay would just make plays. And it wasn't no 30-yard bombs. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to know what your team is. And I know we want these big plays and things like that. But again, there's nothing wrong with that 10-yard completion. Because guess what? That's a first down. Something wrong with that 5-yard complete, because that keeps you on schedule. So then those running backs that are super explosive, and I mean those guys are explosive. So again, my thing is Morgan for this team. He needs to, because I think also it hurts him, because I think when you go to this other kid, because again, and like I said, I hate to because I'm not a coach. Coach Cole is the coach on here, and I hate doing this because Coach he's seeing something in practice. He's not a dummy. But again, it goes back to the point is sometimes it's like this. A lot of guys want a girl that looks like a 10, but she acts like a 5. But sometimes it's better to have an 8 that acts like a 10. She looks like an 8, but she acts like a 10. So get the all cake looking girl that treats you good. So that's always better than the good looking girl that treats you bad. And I think that's what he's kind of going. That McCoy, he looks good. But with this type of team that you have that plays good, sound defense, that can stop the running game, and you got running backs, and especially because there's no dominant team in this conference this year. There's no super team. So Jackson State, all they need to do is be in the game, because what Jackson State does not have the ability to do is to come back, because their quarterback is not coming back. Daniel Richardson can come back, because you can say, hey, you know what? I need you to go 80 yards, 80 yards, 80 yards, just on passing. These two quarterbacks can't do it. So what do? You play good fundamental defense, you run the ball, and you make plays and keep the team on schedule. And my thing is, once again, I hate to say it, but this is a game that you learn from, because it's not a conference game, and they'll learn from it. So that's my last thing on this.
And my last point on this is looking at Grambling. Grambling, with winning this game right here, if they win their next two games, they can literally wrap up conference and cruise to the finish line. I'm not saying they're going to host the SWAC championship, but the only other challenging game I see on their schedule after Alcorn is Texas Southern, maybe. We still have to see what they are. And I don't know how good Alabama State is working with a 14 quarterback. So that's what they'll have on their schedule.
Is Alabama State a counter?
Yeah.
But see, but you, Coach, I guarantee you, if Grambling beat Prairie View and beat Alcorn State, we might as well start writing them as West Division Championship. And because it all depends on what Texas Southern do. Hello, is Texas Southern for real?
We'll find out this week, because this one counts. Yes. We'll see if Texas Southern is for real. If they ain't for real, if they get beat by 3 or 4 touchdowns, then we know they're not for real. Then you might as well start. They might as well load the trophy up and put some foam around it and send it up to Grambling, Louisiana, because that's how this is. And we got to see what Southern's gonna do. You know what I mean? They got an opportunity to try to turn their season around, but they can't lose no more. Coach, I just think Southern has they have the Jackson State game doesn't count, does it?
No, it doesn't.
But they got three games in a row. They got Texas Southern, they got Alcorn, and they got Florida A&M. 3 games in a row.
See, the problem is I don't think so. Here's my issue. The game that's really going to decide it, in my opinion, is the fact that Grambling does not have to play Florida A&M. Right.
So that's going to be a loss on everybody's schedule.
Yes, and even if they go, because Grambling conceivably could walk into that Bayou Classic undefeated in the SWAC.
On their side.
Yeah. I mean, they beat Jackson State, but who moving forward is a sure enough loss for them. I think they're going to be favored in every game they play in the SWAC to the end of the season.
They got Prairie View, they got Alcorn struggling, Pine Bluff, Texas Southern, Bethune-Cookman. Alabama State is struggling like hell. Alabama A&M. Coach, you right. You right, Coach. You right. They can tiptoe like
now,
yellow brick road.
Now the downside on that schedule is they could win every game and end up at the end of the season not truly knowing who they are. You understand me? What I'm saying? Because I think absolutely. Yeah. So that's it. So let's talk about this.
Some guys, that would be sweet. Grambling and Florida A&M, because they don't play each other in the regular season. That would be sweet in the SWAC championship game.
It'd be a big game.
Yeah, I would actually go see that game. But we'll see. We'll see, man. This thing might, man, we didn't know body was gonna get hurt, injuries gonna start, what type of weight program you have, all that's going to start playing in a role. I had a production meeting at HBCU Go with Allen and Miles, and it's some kids are getting hurt, kids are coming back from being hurt. So it's a revolving door, and we're getting in the thick of football season.
Oh yeah, and okay. Now this game right here, I was able to go back. I was going back and forth in between this game and this game was a terrible watch. By the way, I just want y'all to know that this was a terrible watch.
Yeah, it was, Coach.
I don't know what to think of this game. I definitely can't say that either team is any good, because of the way that each team played. And then considering how Southern played against Jackson State, I just don't know what to think of this game. So, Prairie View may just be a really bad team playing another really bad team. But I'll let you guys, maybe you guys got better understanding what happened on Saturday night than I did.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to talk with Coach McDowell, and I don't want to share it on our show because I got the ultimate respect for him. Of being able to share some ideas, because one thing about Coach Bubba McDowell and Coach Eddie Robinson, those guys are scholars. They take good advice. They go and try to find the answers to it. But he's got to make some adjustments over there. They got the people, but he's got to make some adjustments with him and his staff. And I want to send a thanks out to him because he came on our show at Media Day and spoke with us, and they got to do some internal stuff there at Prairie View. There's no way that they should be sitting at 1-3 right now. And so he's got to make some adjustments. He's got to make them quick. But as we say, that it's going to be tough for him to be playing, post-game games, unless a whole bunch of stuff happens. And Bishop Campbell, it can happen. Because as you say, ain't nobody just really kicking ass over on that side of the ball. So those are some things that he's got to make some adjustments. I watched the game. Prairie View led the head the whole game except but at the end, I seen a lot of things that was going on. It was just like, I don't know what Rocky, what it was like just people just there and calling plays, and wasn't nobody really making no big decisions on what plays. If it's second and short, what plays? I shouldn't ask y'all. On second and short, you run several plays. You take a shot downfield. Okay, you run some type of bootleg, you run some type of go route, hitch and go, because the second and short. I just didn't see none of that. It just gave me a damn headache watching that. So Prairie View can stir up some and hope that the rest of the teams lose football games. But right now they out of it.
Well, I watched this game, and I'm going to kind of talk about the stats. But first of all, Prairie View has played 4 games. They have not played one good game yet. And the thing about this, not one game could they say, you know what, this is a game that shows our potential. And for a team that had visions of being a SWAC champion, this team is not a SWAC championship team. In no shape, form, or fashion. Not at quarterback, not at running back. Savage is a great wide receiver. He might make all conference, not on defense. And that is really what's disappointing me about this team, because I picked this team to win the West.
Get the ball to Savage.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to the quarterback. So again, Cameron Peters, who looks like they've settled on as the quarterback, went for 9 for 20 for 193 yards, 2 TDs. And what really hurt them, they only ran, and again, no need to give any running back stats because Peters had 37 yards. That was the most, but they ran 54 times, only had 109 yards. That means a 2-yard average. a 2-yard average. So that right there, this game, they led the game going in the half, and then you could just see Southern being opportunistic in this game, making stops and executing. Noah Biden once again went for 16 for 29 for 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a big play up throw off the back foot to get a 2-point conversion, which basically pushed them into overtime. So again, making some plays there. They ran for 191 yards. The running game kind of got going. Kobe Dillon went for 77 yards. So Southern kind of starting to show a little bit of something. Again, not sold on Southern either. But again, when you looked at these two teams, you saw the confidence of Southern saying that, you know what, we don't lose down here at Prairie View. And this kind of goes back to the Jackson State Grambling game. When you have that in your team and that DNA say that we don't lose, you start playing with confidence. In the fourth quarter, Southern started playing with confidence, and that's the reason why they won this game.
I tend to agree with you. But even in this game, this is just me. I saw Southern had a lack of commitment to the running game, even when they were having a lot of success. Like, they have a good run, and next thing you know, they drop back trying to hit a pass. Now, Noah Biden played pretty well, and I don't think that Prairie View had put up much of a rush. That's the other thing. Prairie View's defense is worse than it was last year in some ways, in my opinion.
This team is not improved. This team, I'm telling you, this is a bad 1-3 team. It's not a good team. It's not a good team. Not for the talent, or not for the expectation level that they have, because the talent was a guess.
Let me say this, Coach. You got a kid like Samar Savage, and he catches 2 football games, two catches, and you don't have nothing to go to him. Nothing to go to him. And look, and I'm listening to the announcers. That's all they're talking about is Savage.
Kid's a player.
And you don't go to him? Coach, that's offensive coordinator 101.
Coach, they don't run a reverse. Coach, they don't run a what they call it, a jet sweep. They don't want to reverse. They don't do none of that, Coach.
None of that. No tunnel screen to Savage to put the ball in his hand. You can't even throw a 3-step drop to Savage and let him break some tackles. Coach, they might not have Savage. What year is he? I mean, we need to find out what year is he. They might not have him.
He's a senior, Coach. Senior.
Oh, okay. He's one hot young man. There's no way that the number 1 wide receiver in the SWAC. Can I say that?
Yep. I mean, he's one of the. He's probably the most explosive for sure.
And he gets 2 passes.
Now
you ain't trying to win. You ain't trying to win now.
Let me ask you this here, Coach, and I'll get you guys' impression of it. It seems to me that the quarterback, though he's a good player, he plays a lot of hero ball. Now, that's what it looks like to me. What do you guys see?
Well, Coach, like I say, Coach McDowell talked about this the other week about the quarterback just making the correct play. And he kind of talked about that a little bit again. So again, and Coach Cole talked about this. What are we doing to put the quarterback and the play that we're calling to make him successful? What are we doing to get him, hey, we're getting our balls to the playmakers. What are we doing? We're running the ball. Where are we showing our strength? And I think the inconsistency, and this goes, because they talked about Coach Whedon. This was the way we brought in a new offensive coordinator. We're going to be, multiple. We're going to be more consistent. And Coach Whedon has, I'm sorry, you have not seen what I think they were sold. And again, this is just watching the game. And again, we're talking about a team. See, and I'm Prairie View got to understand this. And this goes, if the coaches are watching, you are held to a championship expectation. This was your fans believing Celebration Bowl or bust. Now, I might not believe it, but they believed it. So again, when you're talking about a quarterback that was not throwing the ball, not getting the ball established, these are things that people are looking at.
Hey, Coach, neither team was raising no hell offensively, and this is the reason why. Prairie View had 7 punts. Southern had 6. Neither one of them teams raising no hell.
They're not good. Neither one of these teams are good offensively. And they've shown that all year. Neither one of these teams are good offensively.
Well, like I said, man, you got to be able to put your players in successful situations. What we've seen in some of these games, you got to be able to have your kids ready to play. That's your job as a coach. It's an egotistical business, but you got to be real with yourself. It's a lot of things that I see that goes on, this two quarterback situation. I see a lot of that these days. You got to just make a decision which guy you're going to go with. And at least let him go through 1-2 games or 1.5 games as a starter and see that he get it. I'm always a firm believer that the first thing, if my offense is not working, Rocky and Coach Campbell, I look at the man in the mirror. What am I doing? And I think you said it earlier, Campbell. What can I do to make this kid successful? What is he good at? What is he bad at? And then that's the thing that I call my offense around. And the kids that can make some plays, Rocky, those are kids gonna touch that football. That's what you're supposed to do. And I really, as an older coach, when I'm looking at the conference, I'm very disappointed in seeing the offensive play of what's going on. Whether of course, whether they care or not, but we better than this, and we should be able to get better than this.
But my last question is, and I'll just put this to you, Coach. When you go into the season, Southern, they had a quarterback competition somewhat. They settled on the guy T-Set as the guy. He gets hurt in the Jackson State game, and he's not able to suit up against against Prairie View. Do you go back to T-Set after Noah Biden wins your football game?
I really would have to be in the situation to be honest about, because he wasn't the starter, the kid that had to sit out. He was not the starter. Bottom has always been the starter, except but he stalled, and then this kid came in and did some things, and all of a sudden then he became the starter. So we probably need to start from that there. I think Bottom should have been the starter all along. I mean, hell, he got a coach fired, didn't he? Is it safe to say that?
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that, Bishop Campbell? So he come back this year, didn't have no issue, and so the team is yours. And so I think he started in the Bayou Classic. Am I correct?
Yes.
So when he come in this fall, this is my guy. You know what I mean? He's my guy. We're going to ride and die with him till we can't no more. So I think we're creating more issues and more problems than actually what's really going on with this football team.
And we'll have to go into this in great detail maybe at another step. Is it easier just to switch a quarterback rather than develop one? And so I'll just leave that right there, and we could go into that question a little later. I mean, later on
I'll just tell
in the year.
It's easy to switch it than to develop. It's easy to switch because developing, you got growing pain. You want to grow with it, right? But if you don't want to grow with him, then you switch it. Because guys, a quarterback handles the ball 100% of the time of the game. He's gonna make some mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. So you got to live with it. Then as he come over to the sideline, he has to give me football answers. He can't give me selfish answers. Like, oh, coach, he didn't run the right route, or oh, he didn't catch the ball. I want to hear, hey, coach, hey, look, they was in cover 3. I was watching strong safety. When he broke, he made a good play on me. The dig came behind me, hand me, and I wasn't able to get the ball to him. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking to your kids, they got to be able to talk to you football terms, not selfish terms, especially when you play the quarterback position. But let's go, coach. We ready to rock?
Man, we got to. Hey, it's a short slate this week, guys. It's not because there's a lot of conference games. We don't have as many individual games, so we can get through this here and get to bed. Now, we'll go with Prairie View and Grambling first. We'll start it off with the State Fair Classic. This is a big game for both programs. In my opinion, Grambling is at a point where if they can win this game, they set themselves up to win the West. However, if Prairie View beats them in this game, the West becomes wide open. So I'm gonna take Prairie View in this game. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. I can't count on Grambling getting 6 turnovers again in order to win the game. I'm gonna take Prairie View in this one.
Can I tell you, boy, you're coaching, Ron. I'm rubbing off on you, baby. I get it. You're right. Because they only won that game because they had 5 turnovers. You can't win no game less than 300 yards, Coach Campbell. You know what I'm saying? But 5 turnovers will help you get that. You want me to go? I guess because I'm talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Grambling State. I'm gonna go with Mickey Joseph. He's on the right track. He's got the kids going in the right direction. He's saying the right things. And they playing at Grambling. Prairie View gonna have to have. Oh, I'm sorry. They play in Dallas. Prairie View is gonna have to have a lot.
Still playing at Grambling, based off the record. They're still playing at Grambling.
Right. They gonna have to have a lot of good things happening. Now they're sitting at 0-3. 1-3. They know winning the SWAC West is far from none by losing to Texas Southern. They got to have a lot of good things happening in that game for them to be up. They'll be up, hype, playing in Cotton Bowl, rah, 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 rah. If some things go wrong, Grambling wins the football game.
Listen, I tell people Grambling is one of my favorite schools. I love Grambling. I was a big supporter of Prairie View, but I'm sorry, I had to jump off that Prairie View bandwagon after last weekend. And I'm about to. I got a lot of Grambling gear in my closet, and I can go pull out some G-Man stuff right now. Hey man, listen, I'm sorry. When
I seen them, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Coach, but you are right. You sure right. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but again, even though Grambling might not get 5 turnovers, they know how to try to play to get turnovers, and that's what I like about their defense. See, this is something that Coach Joseph clearly and that defensive staff is starting to ingrain on these guys. And again, what I just have not seen with Prairie View at 4 games, I don't trust them. That's my thing. And the problem is, Coach, and you know this, and I've said this, that championship death march is real. The pressure's real. Everybody feels it. Everybody's telling you what you got to do. And I think Prairie View is under, as they say, crumbling under the weight of expectations. I think Grambling, to your point, has gotten a free pass. And I think they've gotten that big win against Jackson. And like they say, people look at the schedule and they say, you know what? We win this game, that puts us right on schedule. We win the next game, puts us right on schedule. So I'm saying, I think Grambling comes in with a lot of confidence. I think the game is close. I think this game will be another one like Southern, but I think the G-Men are going to pull out in Dallas once again.
Wow. There you go.
All right. We're going to go over to Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman.
Coach, I'll go first. I'll go first on this one, Coach, because I'll let you talk a little bit more because you saw that. Listen, this is you want to talk about a must-win game for both programs, and one for Alabama State if they want to have any hope. Because, like I said, this is their first time in SWAC play, so this is a SWAC game. But if they lose this game, again, they play FAMU next, then their season could be over with. I believe their season over with because they're not like quarterback. The next thing is Bethune-Cookman is 0-4. This is the same thing. A level of expectation. You lose this game, you're 0-5. So the pressure for them to win this game after having, that was a devastating loss to Clark. A devastating loss. So for me, I don't think Alabama State has a quarterback. I think Bethune-Cookman, because down there on the beach, I think they get their first win. I think their quarterback, again, keeps the momentum going. And like I said, I think they come out. I think the score is going to be low, but I got Bethune-Cookman 21-17.
I'm just going to take Bethune-Cookman on this one, guys. I just think Alabama State playing with a third or fourth string quarterback they're not going to get it done against. And I think Bethune-Cookman has played good defense and they are talented. So I think, they'll get off the snide and they'll beat Alabama State. Now, for Alabama State, if they lose this game, any hopes of a SWAC championship is over with. So, but I think it's over with when Andrew Body went down with a season-ending shoulder injury. So I'll take Bethune-Cookman on this one. Who do you got, Coach?
I'm gonna go Alabama State. You can't turn around and lose to a Division II team and then beat Alabama State. Alabama State is good in the special team. They're good on defense. They'll be able to run the ball efficiently. They will get O'Brien back. O'Brien will come back, the other kid at quarterback. So they'll get another experienced quarterback that really knows the offense. Things got to go great for Bethune because they'll get down. I thought home field advantage would be an advantage, but they let a Division II team come into Daytona Beach and beat them. I think Alabama's defense is way better than Clark. Way better than Clark. And I know Alabama State without, a guy that it'll make things tough. But I'm going to go with Alabama State. Close one, 17-10. But I gotta go with the Hornets.
I've seen both of these quarterbacks play in person. I've seen O'Brien play in person, and I've seen David Wright practice. There's no comparison.
No,
there won't be.
I have no argument about that, but please don't put O'Brien and David Wright in the same sentence.
All right, Coach. We'll go down to we could do Delaware and Campbell right now. Delaware State.
Campbell by 50.
I'll take Campbell as well. What about you, Steve?
Delaware State came back down to earth last week. I think Campbell wins this game.
Big.
So, all right. Norfolk coming off a big win. Against NCCU, though. That's the problem. Now, NCCU gets a chance to cement their dominance in the region and in the MEAC. And I got to take NCCU.
Now, here's the thing that's going to be interesting about this game is that Norfolk's all-conference quarterback should be back for this game. So do they make a quarterback change, bring him in, let him play? So, again, I believe Central will win this game by 2 touchdowns, easy, maybe 3. But that is a factor that I want to see what Norfolk State can do with that quarterback. Are they going to let him play?
Here's the issue. North Carolina Central, you're not going to run the ball on North Carolina Central. You're not going to do it.
They're not going to let you.
Exactly. They're not Alabama State. They're not those other schools that Norfolk play. They're better defense than Florida A&M. I got North Carolina Central like you, Coach Campbell, big. I don't think it'll be a runaway because Norfolk is going to run the ball and going to kill the clock. But I do got North Carolina Central by 2 touchdowns.
All right. Did you pick that one, Campbell?
Yeah. Give me Central.
All right. We all got Central. All right. Over in the SWAC, we got the Battle of the Mississippi, I guess.
Is that the toilet bowl?
I don't know. I think we still don't know how good Alcorn is. I think we're assuming that they played the same McNeese team that Southern played, but I got a feeling that they played a different McNeese team. And so, but we'll see. We'll see. But if they get beat by Valley,
yeah, that. Yeah,
or if it's a struggle, Campbell. If it's a struggle.
It could be a struggle. Alcorn's going to win this game. I mean, like I said, Valley has almost literally the same record versus Alcorn they have against Jack State. They don't beat Alcorn often. Alcorn's going to win this game. Alcorn is going to let this game reset their season, and then they'll go forward. But again, I'm not sold on Alcorn. I think they're in the same boat with Prairie View. I think there's a lot of championship expectations. I think that's overwhelming them. But Alcorn in this game.
I got Alcorn too. What about you, Coach?
Alcorn is moving the ball around, and what I'm finding is these teams are short on red zone offense. They go from 20 to 20, but when they get inside, they come up short. Definitely, I got Alcorn State. I mean, Mississippi Valley, with my reaching out to people who know what they're doing, and they're going out and getting a whole bunch of high school kids. You're not going to win an FCS built on high school kids. And you're not going to be around long enough to see them develop. So I got Alcorn. I got Alcorn big, by 3 touchdowns, 21-0, or 3 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. Y'all see what the last one we got left is one of the marquee games of this week, if not the marquee game of this week. We got Texas Southern, who's 1-0 in conference, and Jackson State. This will be officially their first conference game. I got Jackson State. I just believe my odds they're not lying to me. I see Jackson State, and I see a really good FCS football team, and I have to believe they can beat Texas Southern. But if they don't beat Texas Southern, it's going to be a long season in the Jack.
Coach, you want me to go?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The game's down in Houston. And I'll tell you that Texas Southern has played the hardest schedule between the two teams. To be honest with you. They played the hardest schedule. They played a better talented team. Lamar was supposed to be a top 25 team. They were right there in the game. They played Rice. But I'm sorry. Jackson State should win this game. Jackson State just historically does not lose games to teams like Texas Southern. And I think, again, tradition does mean something. I think T.C. Taylor's going to reset this squad. I think they're going to refocus because I think of some of these players, we're hearing a lot of the chirping from a lot of the crowd noise that this is a great super team. And I think they realize this is a good team. But for them to be great, that they're going to have to focus. So Jackson State, like I said, they go down to Houston. I think Texas Southern keeps it close the first half. I think Jackson State then just blows them out.
I got a question for you, Steve, after Coach Campbell makes his pick.
You mean Coach Cole?
Coach Cole, I'm sorry. Coach Cole.
Don't worry about
it. I've got Jackson State. I've got Jackson State by 2 touchdowns. I think they pull out in the end.
TSU, I love you. I gotta say that, because
absolutely.
Pull them down. Jackson State should win. TC Taylor offensive ain't done nothing wrong. Just gotta cut out the turnovers. The turnovers and the penalties. That's what's wrong with Jackson State. I hope they don't get caught up on going to Houston. Maybe they got caught up on going to Grambling or didn't sleep good at night or something. Those are 2 aspects. Improving the turnover game, improving the penalty game. They moving the ball, Rocky. They moving the ball. They just not getting in the end zone, and that's a lack of concentration. That's a coach. And I got to tell TC, and I'll text him tonight, you need to get them kids straight. You need to get them focused. You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe the loss that they had before has carried on, and he's got to get a hold of those teams. I got Jackson State over Texas Southern 24-7.
All right, Steve, my question is, can I expect the Jackson State faithful to travel better than they did to Grambling?
Well, here's the thing. I was shocked. I mean, I looked at the crowd. It wasn't as bad as I thought. Well, but I thought it'd be more people in Jackson. I mean, it's a short drive. I mean, it's again. This is the thing I keep telling. Jackson can literally get to every place and turn right back around and be at home at night. So usually, what the old saying was the daddy drives to the game and goes to sleep drunk from the game, and the mama drives home. That's the way it used to be. So right. So with that being said, Jackson has a huge fan base in Houston. I think they'll turn out. Again, I think it'll be a well-attended game. So again, I don't think the crowd is going to be, we got a loud crowd is going to, because it's very few SWAC games that the crowd just really disrupts offenses or defenses. I think this is once again, the question is, can Texas Southern muster up enough offense? Because if Jackson State gets 24 points, that's all they're going to need. Because I don't even think Texas Southern, when they played Southern, how many did they score? I mean, when they played Prairie View, how many did they score?
Yeah, they average 17 points a game.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. They're not even averaging 20 points a game. So Jackson State gets 24 points. I think that's enough for them to win this game. So I think Jackson State, it'll be a nice crowd. I don't know if the Boom is traveling all the way to Houston. They may or may not, but it doesn't matter. I think Jackson State doesn't need the Boom to be down there to win this game.
Yeah, Texas Southern got to get better in the third down area. They average at 32%. You want to be at 40. They 33% on fourth down. There's a lot of things that they got to get good and better at. But I like what Coach is doing down there, and really it's going to be a telltale of what type of season they're going to have.
Hey, this is the best of the rest. We got Morgan State and Stony Brook. I'm gonna take Morgan State in this one.
Yeah, Morgan.
Stony Brook.
Okay. What about Charleston Southern and Tennessee State? I'm gonna take Charleston Southern. I don't have much belief in Tennessee State.
Charleston Southern.
This game is at Tennessee State. Charleston Southern is 1-2. This is a conference game. Again, Eddie George just hasn't won these type of games. I think they got a better team, though. This is one of those games. I don't know why I was just kind of looking at this game. So I kind of wanted to know what Tennessee State was going to track. So again, they're playing the game at home, Charleston Southern, but again, I think Charleston Southern will probably pull that out.
All right. Then we'll go to Howard and Princeton. I was hoping last year that Howard would put up a good fight when they played Harvard. I think it was Harvard they played last year, and they got demolished against Harvard. And I thought they had a Celebration Bowl caliber team. So I got to take Princeton. I think it's a step up in competition for Howard, and I don't expect them to handle it any better than they did last year.
Yeah, give me those Princeton Tigers, because the one thing them white boys are not going to do is make any mistakes. Yeah, that is the cliche of a smart team. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I think they're going to execute, and unfortunately, I think they're just going to beat Howard. But once again, when you're playing these type of games, and Coach Cole talked about it, it's about execution. So if Howard can run the ball and use their size and get at that quarterback, then we'll see. But I got to go Princeton.
Texas Southern is not ready yet. They averaging right at 24 points, where you want to be at. Total touchdowns 12, first downs. They're not where they need to be at. I think being in the program for 4 years. When I was at Tennessee State, and we were going in on our fourth year. Like I said, we were averaging 38 points a game. And we were moving the ball, and we were showing a whole bunch of progress. I don't think they're doing that here at Tennessee State. I think they're still in the middle of the road. They're still trying to find themselves. Now it's the bread and butter games. I'm gonna take Charleston Southern 24 or 21-14.
I see, Coach, you were still deep diving into that Tennessee State game. We moved on to the Howard game. Howard and Princeton. Coach, we both took Princeton. Who you got?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm taking Princeton.
Okay. Hey.
Yeah, I'm going to take Princeton.
And the last one of the night. This is now, y'all gonna have to talk about the rivalry on this one. I've seen both of these teams play. There's no doubt in my mind who's the better team. South Carolina State is the better team. But I'll take you guys' information of what this game means from an HBCU standpoint, and then give me your picks.
I'll go first, Coach. I'll let you talk more about the history and the coaching side of it. But listen, the rivalry doesn't mean anything in this game because South Carolina State is just a better team. So while it might sound good for the fans, hey, we the border war and all that stuff like that, South Carolina State is just a better team. They got the better quarterback, they got the better offensive line, they got the better defense, and they got the better coach, clearly. I think this South Carolina goes big. I think Tennis Bear calls his boy Trey Oliver and say, hey, man, what did y'all do? We're going to do it better. So I'm telling you something. I think A&T needs to be worried because I think they're not going to score 66, but I think they're going to get up to 40.
Yeah. Well, Tennis Bear being an offensive line coach, he ain't gonna ever score 60. If he ever scores 60, they playing against the Nuns.
Well, bad as A&T look, they might be the Nuns.
Hey, Coach, South Carolina State all over this, man. He gonna get 49. He'll get 7 touchdowns, Coach. He's gonna punish North Carolina A&T. He's gonna embarrass them. Coach Tennis Bear is serious about what he's trying to do. And what's the percentage of coaches? Coach, the 25%. What do?
They win.
They win. And Tennis Bear is in that 25%.
All right, Coach. Hey, man, this has been another great show. Another marathon. Hey, anybody who's just catching us now, I suggest you go to the very beginning and catch the exclusive interview we had with Florida A&M's 19th Director of Athletics, Angela Suggs. Man, it was a great interview. I see why the Rattlers are so happy with the choice that President Beard made. And man, this has been another great show, man. I want to thank you guys for jumping on. We got another show tomorrow that we're going to have for you guys. We got 2 coaches that are coming on from Allen and what is the other coach from?
Miles Collins.
Yeah, it's Coach Pearl and Coach Shade. Yeah. So I look forward to interviewing those guys. So y'all jump on with us at 8:00 tomorrow, and we'll have it ready for you. But with no further ado, I'll let you go, Campbell, and say your parting shots, and then of course you're gonna have you can turn it over to Coach Cole and let him take us out.
Well, I'm gonna go back to AD Angela Adams Suggs, and this shows once again the greatness of an HBCU education. You're talking about somebody that started at FAMU and now has returned to FAMU. Why? Because of Florida A&M education. So I'll say this to anybody that has a child or anybody that is at a HBCU: never doubt the education that you have, because all the HBCUs do the most with the least, and always turns into greatness. Because you know what? Maybe you turn into an AD like Angela Suggs.
Well, Coach, that was great. I believe in hiring your own, and I think at the HBCU level, we don't do enough of that. I think we need to hire more presidents with HBCU background. I think we need to make sure that presidents, when they do come in there, make it a market to make sure that if I graduated from this school, I can come back. I think most programs in this country does that. I think it's something that you do because they got skin in the game. Again, I can't say enough about working with Rocky and working with Coach Bishop and the fan base that we have. We're going to continue to grow it. And, we're moving forward in our program. And make sure you subscribe to our program. Make sure you give us a little tip change. We're not asking for a lot because we want to do a lot of things to bring this program into your living room. I try to get out, and as we brought Al Wash from big time, and the only promoter right now, and I'm sorry, Fred up in Tennessee, that's promoting Black college football games. We want to bring these people into your living room. I'll be on the HBCU Go this weekend. Tomorrow, we will bring in Coach Cedric Porro, Coach Shade from Sam Shade from Miles College. They'll be right here on this show to let you know how great of coaches they are. I'll continue in my mission. I love blackness. I love HBCU sports. I love to bring this energy to you guys. And the only one gonna take care of us is us. So, as always, when you feel yourself at the end of the rope, tie a knot and hold on tight. Because ain't nobody bad like you.
No, today it's Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Number one, the only debate before the November 5th election between vice presidential candidates Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance will be held Tuesday night. Moderated by Norah O'Donnell and Margaret Brennan, and the debate will air 9 p.m. Eastern on CBS News. Both candidates have undergone intense debate prep, with Walz working alongside Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and Vance coached by his wife and Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer. Number two, recent data shows a growing gender divide in U.S. cities, with men outnumbering women in places like San Jose and Seattle, while the reverse is true in cities like Baltimore and Atlanta. This disparity is particularly stark in Black communities, where mass incarceration and economic inequality have affected men disproportionately. The divide may influence the 2024 election, as Black women traditionally vote Democrat, while some Black men lean more conservative due to economic concerns. Number three, a new report reveals skyrocketing prescription drug prices disproportionately affecting people of color. Pharmaceutical companies raised prices on over 1,000 drugs this year, with about half of the increases exceeding inflation. Black and Latino patients ages 65 and older are especially affected, with many struggling to afford their medications. Number four, the Lexington, Mississippi Police Department has been accused of civil rights violations following a U.S. Department of Justice investigation. The department was found to disproportionately target Black residents and operate a policing for profit scheme driven by fines and fees. Examples include excessive force and unconstitutional detentions, with residents feeling harassed, helpless, and hopeless, according to the DOJ report. Number five, DSCR, or debt service coverage ratio loans, are gaining popularity as they focus on a property's income potential rather than the investor's personal income. This is ideal for investors with fluctuating earnings, allowing them to qualify based on the property's ability to cover its debt. Our celebrity CPA to the stars, Katrina M. Kraft, tells us in today's newsletter that while DSCR loans offer flexibility and faster approval, they often come with higher interest rates and larger down payments, making property performance crucial to financial success. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Joy is contagious. It spreads and uplifts those around us. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, with comedian extraordinaire Damon Williams, contributor Cameron Riley, and producer Ahmed Gordon, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. I'm Sybil Wilkes.
My name is Danny Wilson, and I won $500 on the lunch break with AJ Jones.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.